Sometimes it is difficult to understand what goes on inside the heads of Filipinos. From the concept of bahala na to patiently standing in multiple long lines to accomplish what should be the simplest of tasks, there are certain things that can drive a Western expat crazy. Today I want to explore those attitudes that make me want to shake my head. And toward the end, I will tell you about what really got this expat to the internal boiling point on this episode of Escape to the Philippines. Class is in session. Watch Filipino construction workers toil under the hot sun, doing things like manually carrying concrete blocks into a construction site without the benefit of front-end loader or other equipment. When you do, lazy is not an adjective that would ever enter your mind. No, these can be very hard-working people. Many of their jobs are labor-intensive, like the landscape worker along the highways, hand-watering plants in the median instead of spraying them from a passing water truck. Or maybe the construction workers filling individual bags of sand and carrying them into a work site instead of using heavy equipment to deliver it. The heavy equipment in some cases may not be available, or it might be too expensive. What does appear to be cheap around here is the cost of labor, hence the minimal use of equipment that would make projects like that easier and faster. The subject of cheap labor is another matter, but that can be the topic for an entirely different video on this channel. But sometimes the mindset of the Filipino can make expats from the West lose their minds. Take, for instance, just about any government agency that deals with the public. Be prepared to stand in lines, yes, lines as in plural, to accomplish one task. The Bureau of Immigration is one example of this. Inside that building there is a long row of numbered windows. Beyond those windows is an open office, not cubicles, and the employees can freely walk from one workstation to another. I have to laugh to myself when I have waited in line to obtain a document from a window 8, and then I'm told to get in line to deliver that document to the person in window 9. But could you just hand it to him? No, sir. Perhaps Filipinos are just used to this. They see this as an opportunity to strike up a friendly conversation with the people in line with them. They make sure that they have one task to accomplish that day. And who cares if it takes most of the day? In the West, we live by the saying, time is money. It's not like that here. Here in the Philippines, the more applicable phrase might be, bahala na. It's like, que sera, sera, or whatever will be, will be. The word bahala comes from the word bathala, which refers to the ancient supreme being worshipped by the Filipinos during the pre-Spanish period. It means leaving things in the hands of the divine being. Simply put, bahala na can be the equivalent of God willing. Such a passive attitude, as if Filipinos have given up any control whatsoever as to their surroundings or circumstances, does not sit well with a Western mind. However, some scholars see it in a negative light as just an excuse of lazy people for getting away from their personal responsibility. And that brings me to what got me to the boiling point. On January 10, my American bank card got compromised. That card is my lifeline, as it is the tool I use to move money every month from my U.S. account to the Philippines so that I can pay my bills and buy groceries. But because the card was compromised, my bank shut it down and issued a new one. On January 11, my card was on its way by overnight delivery. On Thursday, January 18, I contacted the bank to see if they could track that envelope. The reply I received was that it was supposed to arrive yet that week or early the next week. So I waited through the entire next week. Armed with the tracking number, I went to work online, digging deeper and deeper into the tracking history until I discovered that the package had actually arrived at the package center just 34 minutes away from its final destination on January 15. With the assistance of my girlfriend and her sister, who had both the better grasp of the language and a lot more patience than I had remaining, I learned that when the envelope arrived at the package center, someone called the telephone number on the package, but the call would not go through. That, of course, was because the bank had my U.S. phone number written on the envelope, and that would not work in the Philippines. So they did not bother to try to deliver it, even though they had a correct, detailed address. So, from January 15 to January 29, the envelope languished in their facility with no attempt to deliver the package, which arrived to them as an overnight delivery. I don't know what they thought was going to happen to that package as it sat there untouched. Bahala na, I supposed. But I don't think God was going to deliver it, even if he were so inclined to get involved in such matters. The customer service representative promised to call back before noon that day to let us know the status of my package and when it will be delivered. And do you know what? You guessed it, nobody called. Have you had similar frustrating moments as an expat trying to get something accomplished in the Philippines? If so, please share them in the comments below. Class participation is appreciated. Class is dismissed. Or not. Bahala na.